Hi everyone. Today we are going to solve the problems of we have done on a previous days from day 6 to day 10, which is like a factorial all these numbers from problems. So let's get started. So first day 6 problem is like to find the factorial of a number, which is like a given number factorial. So the main formula is like to find the n into n minus 1, n minus 2, and like a still goes to 1. So like we can use the approach loop recursion and import the function of the math, and these are the edge cases. Okay, let's do that and do not waste your time. So I have created a file to that and all I have written the functions. Let's get started. So firstly we are for like a let's remove this. So firstly let's try to do the loop based, which is nothing like to iterate all every number in array. Is it sorry, in n. So we want to get the multiplication or factorial. Is it, let's say fact is equal to 1, right? So we have to get the multiplication. Here I am giving the 1 to for when we multiplying all these numbers, right? So fact is equal to fact into num. So we have to return that fact. So let's try to run. Okay, I have to print that. So I am giving here the 5. Let's try to run. Okay. I have to give in the range, right? So range I am giving from the starting to n plus 1, because n plus 1 range will removes the last number. So I am giving 1, and 1 is to 0 will multiplies all will get to 0, right? So I'm giving 1. So 5 factorial is nothing but 120. Next, another way is like to import the import math function. Then we can do math I think it's a function or anything. So math function is like directly this can return math dot factorial of which one, n, is it? So let's try to, I'm commenting this and returning this. So 120. Okay, next way is to another way, like to find the factorial, that yes, recursion means mostly used in the factorial example. So let's try to run that. So first we have to handle the edge cases. Oh yes, here also we can handle the edge cases, like if n is equal to 0 or n is equal to 1, then we can directly return 1. So then it is one of the edge cases, so I'm not writing here because I have written there. So we have to return multiplying the each number and the factorial of a number with n minus 1, means we are decreasing the each number and multiplying, then in recursion way it can multiplies all the ones. So I'm getting 120. Is there another ways to multiply these things? Loop based ones. Okay, let's see, is there another ways, like for example checking this. So edge cases are like this, and factorial we have done. Okay, using the okay, we did that. And prod, math dot prod is like to takes the range of things and checks the conditions and reduce function recursion. Okay, let's try to use the math while loop. Okay, normally same as like a loop. So first we have to define any waste, like let's say it's a 1. So while, let's say that any condition, let's say I'm saying true, I will change that after this. So I'm just taking that how it's going. So normally for that I have to define a factorial variable to multiply that, so that factorial is equal to factorial into, so it is like I'm giving as like a index. So then, so, or like a 0, so it is like I'm giving, right? No, I'm, let's say I'm offing this and giving n. So then, okay, it is like reverse type calculating. So n is equal to n into 1, sorry, n minus 1. So it's again minuses, like if it is 5, 5 minus 4, then again goes here. And what condition it should be checked? n uh, n is it should be deal with 1 0, right? So for that I have to, yes, for that I have to check the condition with this. Let's say I'm returning what I have to return, factorial return. So for that I have to check the condition n should not equal to 0, then it should be written. So n should not, if n is greater than 0, then it should be like that. Let's try to run this. Yes, I'm getting this as, okay. Why it's getting all the spaces? Let's see, is that correct or not? N should be greater than 1. Okay, directly it is saying in the least edge condition also. So I think it's also better. Okay. What is the difference for these 0 and 1? Why it's spacing more? Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. So we have solved the factorial. Next let's go to the sum of the list. Okay, let's try to comment this and comment on this. Okay. Now I have to sum the, is it? I have to sum of the elements in the list. Let's try to use the loop based. So normally for num in range, not, so it's like a array. For each element I have to sum that. So for that I have to define a total. Let's say it's a total is equal to total plus num. What would be the total? Total is equal to 0, right? Then I have to return, what I have to return? Total. Let's comment this and try to run. Yes, here I have given here like a 10, 10 and 7, 27 should be the output of the elements. Next, another way be like a sum function, right? Sum function to sum all this. So return sum of array. So let's try to run. Yes, 27. Next, another way will be like, yes, we can use the while loop also. Let's say, let's try to do that. If it not works, then try it. So first we have to use the while. Let's say, let's say it's like a ask condition. I will edit this. I'm just defining something else. So I have to get the each element to the sum. So array of index should be sum. So let's say I'm defining here index is equal to, let's say, 0. So it should be add, right? So total is equal to 0. Next, it would be total is equal to total, and it's add that in array of the element. Then index should is equal to index, same as like a for loop, but just we defining the condition for the while and like defining these things. Same we can do also by using the range function also, but for loop it is like a best approach, directly doing the each element. Next, index plus 1, or we can directly minus those also, we can do anyway, if not to give the length of array to checking each the condition. So index should be if it is greater than, no, if it is less than, should run the loop, right? If it is 0 is less than the length of the function, yes. So then I have to return, what I have to return? Total. So it should be answer be like 27. Yes, that's good. And another way will be like, let's see, is there any given here? Yes, factorial. For that we have handled the edge cases. Okay, some of the elements, add all the elements together. Okay, using sum function, loop function, while loop. Yes, we have did that. Next, I have to add handle the edge cases, right? Empty list should be 0 and negative numbers that I think it will be normally it can handle. Let's say it is like, for example, negative numbers, right? -2, -5. Let's say, is it handling or not? No, this is okay. Define as, yes, it is handling, summing those elements. Okay, let's run Control Z. Okay, next, okay, all these approaches, let's try to see here also what is the approaches for the sum of the list, right? So edge cases like this, and if it is some method is like more efficient for the large list. Okay, next, by the iteration, some recursion and reduce functions and list comprehensions. Okay, when anyone asks you to solve the sum, then we use the list comprehensions and while loop. Okay, so let's try to use the list comprehension, right? List comprehension. It is like a simple way, like let's say it is like, let's say, can I directly return sum of num per num in array, it will return 27. Okay, next, another way we like recursion. Okay, it's directly, it is like a checking most all this, but it is, I think it's by these all these approaches, recursion will be like a more time taking, I think so, because it's taking every element, but these are like a simple iterator. So let's try to do that also. Let recursion, if, what would be like a, it is like a base condition, if length of array is equal to 0, then we have, then that have to return 0. What the thing means, array of 0th element with summing the next element, right? Sum of the list of, what would be the next element here? Here like a from 1 to all, right? From the next element, not the first element. It is like a taking for each time these element next, these element next, these element, then it gets the d0. So if it length is 0, then it should be written 0 and get the sum. Okay, yeah, we have then the next next function is like to find the maximum and minimum of that. So let's try to comment out, and let's see maximum minimum normally by using simply by functions, right? Like return maximum of array, minimum of array. So here the maximum is like 10, minimum is like 1. Let's try to run that. Okay, so first I have defined the maximum and minimum. Next, another way will be like a loop based. Let's try to check that. I have to check each one, right, for num in array. So firstly I am defining each one as first element. Let's say maximum is equal to array of 0th element, and minimum is equal to array of first element. So here I am checking each one. So I have to check the each one if num is greater than maximum, is it? So then I have to update the maximum as num, right? If else, or like else if it is minimum, then it should be is equal to num. num. So then I have to return, what I have to return? Minimum, maximum. Here like checking each number, if it is greater than the maximum, then I have to give the number. Then it is less than, then I have to give the minimum number. Let's try to run. Yes, here I am giving the minimum. Okay, next by the sorry yes by using sum of the list all those over, yes, output 0 and negative numbers include them. Okay, for finding the maximum and minimum, so choose to find that and compare the each number, keep the track of this, and using built-in function, yes, used, and manual method. Initially we initialize with 0 and checking the each character or like each number with that, and using sorting. Okay, so best way I have forgotten that, sorting. Like for example array or sort is sort. So then I have to return array of first element, it is the it is like a minimum element, and array of -1, it is like a maximum element. Same output will be gets here. I am running the file. Yes. Okay, let's try to see is there any function, any type of things. Here I am using maximum minimum, so it is also using reduce, heap. Okay, heap is the one of the best method to find that. Heap dot n largest, heap dot n smallest. Next sorting, built-in functions, and loop based. Yes, so just we have not used these two things, so it is like for beginners level it would be okay to solve with that only. So these are like most of the things interviewers may ask to find that. So next it will be like to solve the second largest. It is one of the most important question for the interviews or any, it is like a technical, best technical question. So to find the second largest number in a list, we have to find the largest and then find the next biggest than that. Okay, many main approaches will be like sort, two variable set. So edge cases is like list if the no no second element, sorry, no largest element. If it is negative, then we have to, for example, if if like I have to return the length of array, right? So to I have to give the set, because to remove the duplicates. Then if it is less than 2, then I have to return, what I have to return, like no second largest element. Means if it is a one element in the array, then there is no second largest element, right? So it is like a base condition. So next we have to solve by let's say it's loop based. Loop, it is like a loop based is like a, it is like a logic building. So loop based approach will be should learn all one, because it is like a basic, it is like a logic building also, right? So loop based, like a two second largest, we have to get the two variables to that. For example, largest one is equal to float. I'm giving the least number. Okay, then I have to give the second largest. What I have to give, I'm also giving for this also least number. So then I will iterate each number in array as checking if number is greater than largest, then I have to update the largest, same as like before we did, to find the minimum and maximum. So but here I'm tracking second largest number also. If it is not largest, it is the second largest number, so I am updating here second largest number as largest, right? And if it is not, like else if number is less than less than largest, right? And number should not equal to largest, because I am avoiding here like a duplicate numbers, right? So then I have to return, sorry, I have to update the second largest number as num. Here main point is to give the second largest number, right? So then I am returning second largest number. Let's try. Okay, all this, and yes, so I'm running the file. So in this, the first largest number is like 10, but I want the here like a 9, second largest number, right? It is running. Yes, but it is, I'm getting here only 10, but I have to get the 9, right? Where I am doing wrong. Here I am checking each one with the largest and second largest with largest, and updating the number and elif, and these also are the good. What is the problem? Let's check with my past second largest. We did like yes, yes. Okay, it is like directly checking with the second largest number. Is it? Okay, let's try to do that. So here, if it is not, I'm thinking like that, but it is like second largest number. If it is, the number is less than this, let's try to run this, and number should not equal, it is correct, but it should like greater than this. NF. Mhm. What was the problem with that? So here I have defined same as like that, and for number in a number array, if number is greater than largest, then I have to update the largest, second largest and that number. Else the number, if it is greater than the second largest, for example here second largest and not equal to first means largest one, then I have to update the second largest number, right? Then what was the problem from my side? So, mhm. Yes, but why I'm getting wrong? I think let's try to debug what was the problem. No, no, this. Okay, here let's observe that. Here length of the set of the array, it is like a base condition, it is not. Let's largest is enough and this is also enough, and here number is like a 5, right? 5 is greater than enough, yes. So second large, okay, 5 is greater than enough. Okay, okay. I think that's the problem I have there. So let's stop this. I have to define in -1, right? Minus enough, like a least number, right? Now let's try to run this. Okay, yes. Yes, I'm getting the output. Just the small issue I am getting. Yes, let's try to run another one. Yes, 9. Okay, next loop based is over. Just the small issues I have done. And this also I have to update that. So keep that. Next way is to using the set. Okay, set means like I have to define all the set, right? For example, list. Sorry, for example, it is, let's say, new list is equal to, I have to set all the array, right? Then I have to convert all the into again into a list, so that I don't know why I'm confusing. Let's say maximum, okay, using set and sorting, right? Using set to remove the duplicates and find the again. Okay, we are just like a setting and converting into a list and sorting that and getting the last element. It is like nothing but like a second largest element. Okay, next one is like a sort and pick the next. Directly we can doing that, we are doing that. And it is another way is like a heap maximum function and checking with the last, like if it is number is less than largest and if it is greater than the largest, then I have to update. Directly here I'm doing without just defining the maximum function. And while loop also is like a just like a getting the occurrences, like same as like a doing set, but here manually by loop base I am removing the largest number if it is occurs number of times. Okay, then here I have to return no. Yes, we have to return array of last element, because number of times we have removed, then or like next element. Okay, remove all occurrences. Okay, I don't know why today I'm confusing, but it's like a best way to do same as like that. It is like just removing last largest element. Yes, it is correct. So I have to define one sorted way, another sorted way. Yes, same as like this by doing that on. Okay, I'm here like defining new list, here also defining that, like yes, it is also defining new list. So it is correct. Okay. So we have to sort that, and we have to return that. What I have to return? New list of -2. So let's run this, and 9. Okay, and another way will be like directly sorting. Same problem is like this. Okay, where it is like, okay, next problem is to reverse the list. Okay, yes, we are handle the unique edge cases also. Next, reverse ls, right? So to reverse ls, just flip that, and by using slicing and these all things. Okay, let's try to do that. So array of, so we have to direct, so we can directly return array of, which is nothing but slicing will reverse the all the elements by single approach. Okay, it is like a by doing that single approach, just defining in reverse way. See here the function. Next, another approach will be like array dot array dot reverse, and we have to directly return array. Let's say yes, it's a same type. And another way will be like a loop based, right? Yes, manual loop by using range. So loop based. So for num in array, so I have to return the each element, right? So I am using here a list. Okay, which is, let's say I am defining a list, and I have to return or append the each number into a list. So it is not like just like, it is like just like adding. So I have to define a range. I define a range. So, and let's say it is a length of array, and -1. -1 means it is like a mostly 5, but the index base will be like a 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 if it is length is 5. Next I have to define -1 and -1 just to reverse the function. So each I have to, let's say it is like a index, then I have to add that index in the reverse array, then I have to return that reverse, right? Yes, it is reversing. So most of the approaches will be like and list reverse, and reverse will be same as like, but we have to convert that reversed into a list, right? For example, first, so we have to convert that reversed of array thing, because it is like a iterator, right? So it does not returns the directly as list, so we have to convert that into a list. So let's say it is reverse and return reverse. So same output will be get. Let's say I'm running. Yes, edge cases is like a single element. If it is single element remains the same, so it is, I think it can handle the output. So from base here we learn the loops and edge cases. We are all these doing all these things. So what we have learned in the past 6 to 8 means factorial, sum of the elements in the list, and minimum and maximum element in the list, and second largest element, and reverse the list. These all things we have learned. In next problem or things we have to use we can learn this, which is like a day 11. I will correct this. Okay, so that's all for today. Try to solve this. See, I am trying to practicing this. I'm doing the daily for this, but I'm still confusing. I means I have to improve more, so you also have to improve more. So it is like daily learning will also give the best. So today we doing the revision means we are doing best thing, because uh, we did the 5 days before all the problems, but still I'm confusing. So learning revision, this will makes me better, I think so, because revision will be recalls all the problems, and I think my mind will be get better by doing these all things. And okay, we are doing this errors. So when we get errors, don't be get confused, because errors will be, it's like a teacher will teach our to do the what is wrong, what is wrong. Okay, so try to do the practice daily. Okay, see in the next video. Thank you.